he's backing up, coming back, gonna do it again. He's trying to get me to, yeah. He's a grown man. I feel a little like, let's do this. I want to talk about feeling really dumb. I thought I would shoot some B-roll for the blog. So I tried out my new little stick camera. It's just a little cheap one. I'm going to be doing a review on it, but I'm, you know, working on getting as many clips of different things as I can. But anyway, off subject. So the head swivels halfway around. It goes around. You can turn it backwards or forwards. My dumb ass had it on the stick and had it facing my back when I was walking. Didn't realize it till I got to the register. So yeah, no B-roll. I wanted to do a vlog, and I kind of like doing the driving vlogs because it gives me a chance. Hopefully you can freaking hear me on this. That would be terrible if I get home and realize the mic wasn't working for some reason, as it has done in the past. But I like doing driving vlogs because it kind of gives me an action, something to do while I'm talking. And I kind of want to talk about something. I have a specific subject in mind. So we'll drive while I talk. Recently, a few months ago, I got a job which I should not have taken because it was in the medical field again. I am not a nurse. I'm a med tech. I was once a CNA. I took nursing classes, dropped out because I was pregnant with my last child. She's now almost 22 years old. Never really wanted to be a nurse. Say what you will about that. I just turned 51, May 2nd. Last year, I had a lot of big plans to do things differently after I turned 50 and kind of document my 50th year and the things I planned on changing. Unfortunately, my depression won the fight last year, and I did not do any of the things that I planned to do. And that's really hard for me to say, because we know that there are people, we all have somebody in our life who is watching everything we do and judging it harshly. And sometimes it's people we love, and you know, even if they're not speaking to us, we know they're watching. And we don't want them to see us fail. And we don't want them to make fun of our stops and starts. And I'm being as fucking transparent as I can be in this video. Just being honest, because being honest out loud is way different than being honest with yourself. You can be honest with yourself and hide that honesty from the world. But in all honesty, I have dealt with such severe depression over the last few years that it has caused me to just not do anything. And, you know, people that are supposed to love you and care for you are the first ones to beat you when you're down sometimes. And that's what happened to me. I had a brief conversation with my adoptive father a few years ago, and he was very harsh. He's always been a very cruel man. He's hateful. He's judgmental. He's a womanizing prick as well. And I realized that I was letting him determine my self-worth. And the things he said to me were hard to hear. They were cruel. They were untrue. And they were cruel. And I realized that, you know, it took a long time, and it took, you know, sometimes I would realize it and then I would remember it again, and then I would go through it all again. A better way to put it. But I just wanted to quit living. The other thing about me is that I am an overthinker. I'm an overthinker to the point to where I will overthink myself out of good things for myself. And I have done that a lot in the last 3 or 4 years. I've become so cynical that I've just stopped trying. I try a little bit and then I'm done. I can't function normally anymore. And something happened with my job, and I'm not going to go into that because I don't need to go into that. I don't want to go into that. But I lost my job, and I think I lost it unfairly. I'm sure I lost it unfairly. But anyway, I really was loving the money from the job. I've never gotten paid like that before when it comes to this line of healthcare, working in facilities and working with the elderly. It's low pay. They don't hire people with nursing degrees in assisted living facilities. To be making the money that I was making, which was around $600 or $700 a week. That was with a little bit of overtime at the beginning, but it was still good. It was $500 a week, for 36 hours. And I was really loving it because we had money and we had all these plans. When I say we, I'm talking about my daughter and I. She's my buddy. She's my business partner, my best friend. And we had some super solid plans. We were talking about things and my spirits were up. I was feeling good about it. It was very hard on me mentally because it was not a good place to work. It's not a good work environment. A lot of bias, a lot of nepotism, a lot of you're not doing enough to make it easier on my family who works here, so it was kind of getting stressful. There's no skilled professionals in that facility. When you hire people right off the street that have criminal records and no med tech, no kind of training, no medical training whatsoever, fresh out of rehab, all the things that were involved with some of the people they were hiring there. And when I was terminated, it immediately I was done. I started beating myself up. I started questioning myself, overthinking. Maybe I shouldn't have said this. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. And so I picked my daughter up. I think it was when I picked her up from work the other day. I don't remember. We were riding in the car. That's what I know. And I started kind of punching myself. I'd had a conversation with a friend who is trying to help me get an embroidery business started, and also for my other channel, she's doing a lot to try and help me get to back to where I should have been by now. My other channel, my original channel where I do sewing and crafting and things like that, was getting there. I have over 65,000 subscribers, but I still now I don't get the views that I used to because I shut down mentally and literally a few years back, and it was very detrimental to my channel. And the thing is that after having a 7.5-hour conversation with my friend, who was really honestly trying to lift my spirits and make me feel better about the situation and trying to help, I overthought everything she said to me while we were on the phone, and I overanalyzed it, and by the time that I picked my daughter up from work, I was just in a state of, I can't do anything right. I'm a failure. I'm never going to make it. I lost my job. Look at me. I tried and it didn't work. And, Twisty was real quiet for a minute. And she said, I'm going to tell you something, Mama, and I want you to listen. And she said, I do not want you to speak. I don't want you to get upset with me. I want you to listen. And this kid gave me a motivational speech I would have paid for. I would have bought pamphlets and t-shirts. But the most memorable things that she said to me was, she said, a lot of times when I get really quiet when you're talking to me about a situation, might start crying, y'all, but it's because I'm proud of my kid. And it was, it felt good to hear the things she said to me. She said, but the thing is that I get so angry at you for beating yourself up all the time and giving up. She said, you didn't teach me that way. She said, that's why I just got promoted at my job. She said, that's why I've had the same job since I turned 18. And she's almost 22. She said, you talked to me and inspired me and made me feel like I could do anything, and then you can't do anything because you beat yourself up, you overthink it, you overanalyze it until you just give up. She said, I don't want you to give up anymore. I want you to believe in yourself. Be good to yourself. Treat yourself like you are worthy. And I can't even begin to describe to you how this child made me feel, because I do worry. One of the things I said to my friend on the phone was that I want to make a better life for her. I want to do things so that she and I can travel and have money to do the things we want to do. I mean, one thing we really love to do, which is where I probably will try to take this channel, is we love to go out and explore different places. You know, we like to try different restaurants. We like to go to weird places when we get an opportunity, which now we will have with a much better car. We like to go out and do things like that, believe it or not. We're really antisocial, but we're also very social in a lot of ways. We like exploring. And so, you know, that's I really want to do that with her. I know that she wants to do that. And the constant stops and starts probably make me look really wishy-washy and make me look like I can't make a decision. And it's right to have that thought. It's fair, because I have dealt with depression for so long that I've become comfortable with it. And I get really uncomfortable when I start to feel good about things. And I think that's because a lot of just, maybe it's because when I feel good things happening, something bad happens. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about any of the traumatic things, but I will say that, you know, a week before Christmas in 2003, our home was burglarized while we were home, and it was in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. 7 men broke the door down, did some really terrible things to my husband and myself and our daughter. It was us and our 3 youngest kids. The 2 boys pretended to be asleep, thank goodness, so they didn't have any physical contact with the men who broke into the house. But my daughter and my husband, Julian, and I did. So, you know, I was baking Christmas cookies and making little wooden decorations I was painting. I had my whole table full of stuff that night, and I got sleepy and laid on the couch and fell asleep. Next thing I know, I'm being pulled by my hair. And anyway, so, you know, that was like, okay, I was doing a good thing. Why did the bad thing happen? And, you know, in between that, there was a lot of little things that happened. Julian, my husband, I can't even remember what year. I think that was so traumatic that I can't remember when, but he was picked up by immigration. He was here undocumented until after that. And there was a very dishonest police officer who arrested him and accused him of being a gang member. And we had to hire a lawyer, and it was very rough times. I was very physically sick, ill. I had surgery on my kidneys. I had a lot of physical ailments that were going on, so I wasn't able to work and do my part. I swear, I loved this guy in the Mustang that you hear at first, but now he gets on my fucking nerves. Okay, anyway, and then, you know, 5 days before Christmas in 2011. Julian was coming home from a month-long trip to North Dakota where he was working with a new company that he had started working with a few months earlier. And they died in a car accident on the way back to spend Christmas with their families. Him and the 3 men that he was working with, they all 4 died. So, you know, it's like we had such big plans. We were paying for a mobile home that we owed 6 payments on. And we were in the process of trying to find property to move it to because the property wasn't ours. The mobile home wasn't ours either. We didn't do it right, and I lost it right after he died. But, so, you know, it's like, if something really good happens to me, what's next? And I think that is the overthinker in me, the PTSD, the little girl who was never good enough. And there's a lot of things I could blame it on. But I think it all boils down to my overthinking and being afraid of good things happening. People don't want to understand somebody else's side. You don't live in my skin. You don't live in my head. You don't feel and see the things I feel and see. We all react different. Some people thrive off of trauma. Some people thrive off of negativity. You know, it's their motivation. It doesn't work for me. So what I want to do, and probably everywhere with the exception of this channel, you know, this is my free-for-all channel. Nobody's really here anyway. If it grows, great. It means it'll grow based on the content that I put up, and it means that you love me no matter what, right? So anyway, I plan on being very much, I want to redesign myself, and I want my online presence to be about my online presence. I want to build my own little empire, my own little twisted empire. I want to be able to do the things I want to do and not overthink it and worry about it to the point where I just don't do it because I'm thinking I'm not good enough. I think a lot of us, even the strongest people who probably would never admit it in public, but I think we all have self-doubt, and we all at some point in time think we're not good enough. New year, new me. No, really, it's not like that. We've all become so cynical and so hateful, and so everything's got to be comedic. That I saw at the end of the year how people were making fun of, the New Year's resolutions and the people who wanted to make changes. But why? Let people live. We all make mistakes. We all stumble and fall. The difference is, and it has for years been my favorite saying, I don't know if Confucius really said it, but I love it. And basically, in loose terms, it's the phrase is, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in getting up every time that we fall. I mean, what other choice do you have? You can fall for the final time and then you're done. Or you can say, okay, I stumbled a little bit and I'm going to get up and try it again. So that's what I'm doing. So I've created a new Facebook group, which I'm not doing away with the page, the Fate So Twisted page, but I will be cleaning it up, getting rid of a lot of irrelevant things on the page. I also have a Facebook account, which will not be personal. It does not mean I'm getting rid of my personal account. One reason is I've had my original Facebook since I first got my Facebook, which I think was in 2006 or 7, whenever it was, that they allowed everybody to get Facebook. As soon as they did, I signed up for an account. But it just means that it's none of your business what's going on in my personal life anymore, because it's not doing anything for me to overshare with you all with what I've got going on. And I want to be more of that online sort of, I'm just going to be a Fate So Twisted online. I'm going to be Renee in real life, and maybe hopefully meet new people and do new things and explore and do all these wonderful things that I want to do. But if I stumble and fall, I'll get up again. So there's that. It's getting dark, and I don't know how well you're able to see me at this point. One thing that my daughter says a lot is, you do you, boo. And that is really profound when you think about it. Like, no matter what's going on, sometimes I'll be ranting about something, or I'll tell her I don't know about doing this or that, and she'll say, you do you, boo. So yeah, you do you, boo. No matter what anybody else tells you, you got this. You can get back up again. You can keep trying. You know, it's changing the process every time, though. It's like that saying that, you know, doing the same thing and expecting a different result or a different outcome. That's, yeah. Just, you know, learn from your mistakes and keep going, because practice makes perfect. You'll get it right eventually, and celebrate those right moments, celebrate those good things, and that's where I'm going with this. So I hope you all will stick around. I hope I can get more subscribers on this channel. I'll be doing all kinds of things here, because I'm not going to keep creating different YouTube channels to keep doing different things. This is my anything and everything channel. So there will be some out and abouts, vlogs, product reviews. I'm really kind of what I do with it. I'm really excited to review my little camera here. Even though my dream was to get a DJI Osmo, I can't afford that yet. Anybody wants to help me out. So anyhow, yeah. Anyway, it's getting dark and I'm still running my mouth. Peace, love, and sunshine. Bye, y'all. Catch you on the flip side.